The pilgrims come in their millions to bathe in the sacred Ganges River, or Ganga as they call it. This is Haridwar in northern India, and day and night for 3 months, the extraordinary ritual continues. Joyous Hindus washing away their sins. It must be, judging by all those happy faces,
Yes,
a very, very good experience.
very exhilarating. Very exhilarating. God gives you a second chance.
This festival is called the Kumbh Mela. Here, your senses get a real working over. The noise, the smell, and the dust consume you. The first thing you have to do is forget your inhibitions. Hey! Give in to the chaos. And just go with the flow. Have a look at all of these people, bags on heads, children in arms, the young and the old on the journey of their lives. If you're claustrophobic or didn't like big crowds, then this would be hell. But for these Hindus, it is all about faith, and this is the closest thing to heaven on earth.
It's just wonderful, and everybody is so happy. That's why we're here.
All up, 50 million people will come to take a dip here, including Australian monk Sonny Wallace.
The Ganga cleans everybody. It's just like, if you're stressed out, and then you take a bath in the waves of Bondi. This is what the Ganga is to us here in India.
Sonny wasn't always this serene. Back in the 1980s, she was Sharon Wallace, a successful but stressed out fashion model. Then she found her guru, the pilot Baba, and from that moment, her life at his feet got a whole lot better. And you don't miss any of that previous life?
No, not at all. I could have $1 billion, wouldn't be happy.
What gets you happiness?
Most people don't even know that they have a potential to be happy. Everybody's craving sex, drugs, and rock and roll or whatever, trying to find this happiness. And Baba says, stop all that. Sit down and know yourself. This is from Australia television, 60 Minutes. Carl, he's an announcer, famous guy in Australia.
Pilot Baba used to fly MiG jets for the Indian Air Force until he received an even higher calling from God. Why did he pick you?
Because I was to do something more. What I was doing not enough. He wanted me to do something more in humanity, so he picked me. I gave my life to him.
But at the Kumbh Mela, if Pilot Baba or his teachings isn't to your liking, no need to worry. There are literally thousands of other sadhus, yogis, and gurus to pick from. The most revealing holy men here are the most revealing. They're Naga Babas, Hindu priests who, for the duration of this festival, leave their lives of solitude and their clothes at home. And for added inner peace, they get quite a lot of illegal help.
Well, they use marijuana, but I don't, and it's against the law in Baba's camp. But they do use it. Yeah, they do. Yeah, it's part of their tradition. Yeah, and it's allowed by their religion, and yeah.
That's probably he looks so happy. Now, there's a lot we can't show you of these naked, pot-smoking priests, like that many demonstrate their devotion by mutilating themselves. Others use other feats of physical strength. This one hasn't sat or laid down for the last 6 years, and plans to keep standing for the next 6 years. Further down the road, this Baba has held his right arm up in the air since 1973. It's now a deformed, useless limb, but he says he's proven his power to God. It's also not a bad earner for him. And what comes from living a life like that? What is the end result?
To be self-realized.
Enlightened.
Enlightened, yes.
From its origins in the Himalayas, the Ganges winds its way for 2,500 kilometres through the Indian countryside. It's the lifeblood of this nation and has always been considered the holiest of rivers. In Haridwar, the naked priests lead the charge of millions of bathers into the water on the most important day of the Kumbh Mela. This has to be one of the most exotic ceremonies you'll ever see. Thousands of holy men splashing around like little kids. According to Hindu mythology, the gods went to war with the demons, fighting over the nectar of immortality. And during those battles spilled 4 drops, and one of those drops fell right here in Haridwar. The Hindus believe if they go swimming in the Ganga, all of their sins will be washed away, not just in this life, but in previous lives. It is essentially a fresh start, and that is why they are so exhilarating. There's no doubt this is a spiritual event for the faithful. They believe the Ganges gives them life, but the truth is they're loving the river to death.
Hundreds and thousands and millions of people are here, all wanting the same thing, all wanting to revive. When these people go in, it's like going into ecstasy. That's all I can describe. It's like, wow.
Lakshmi Singh Takari's conflict is that she's a devoted Hindu, but also a committed environmentalist.
There is a sad irony here that all of these people are coming to be revitalised by the river, but knowingly or unknowingly, they themselves are choking it, they're killing it.
It's very sad, you know, our population is exploded. We don't have the means of taking care of educating them.
And this is the result. The filthy Ganges, the garbage and sewage dump of an overpopulated and undereducated nation. And it isn't an isolated scene. Pollution like this is all along the length of the river. Lakshmi says there will be no future here unless Indians remember the simple past.
You never brought soap into the river, you never spat in the river, you never walked in the river with your shoes on. These were all things that were taught and people believed and did it. Now it seems nobody's got the time and the patience to sit and even listen about such things.
As a surprise, and to show me how special the Ganges really is, Lakshmi took me out of Haridwar to a little-known spot where the river is still relatively clean.
It's quite remarkable the difference between further downstream and here. It's much cleaner here.
And then Lakshmi, the environmentalist, turned back into Lakshmi, the Hindu.
You know, it almost looks good enough to go in.
It's not almost, you should try and get in.
I said all week.
Feel it.
I've said all week I'm not going to go and do that.
You have to get into the river and experience what it's all about. Look at the fish. It's beautiful.
Those fish have 2 heads.
Yeah.
But how could I say no?
I'll have a go with you, only because you're so sweet.
You come all the way from Australia and you don't bathe in the river. That's not on.
Now you're getting cranky with me.
In the 40-degree heat, the threat of disease didn't seem quite so bad.
1, 2, and 3. Come on.
And to be honest, once I was in, it felt great.
Lovely.
I'm not sure my soul was cleansed, but I was definitely now a convert to Lakshmi's fight to save the Ganges.
We are killing ourselves by choking the river, by polluting it, by cutting the trees. And, we just have to become more aware and take a vow that you will try and make others aware of this problem, which is a problem of our planet, not just of the river Ganga.
All right, it is done then.
That's the vow that we take.
Back in Haridwar, the Kumbh Mela festival is coming to an end. Not that numbers in the main bathing area seem to be dwindling. It's been this busy day in and day out for 3 months. And as Avinash Vasist, the priest at the temple here, told me, you never get tired of watching all these people have so much fun.
And once you have washed your sins away, you can go home a happy man or
Yes,
woman.
You can go home without any burden, without any sense of guilt in your mind.
That must be a very nice feeling to start again.
It is very exhilarating, and it gives you a lot of sense of happiness.
It's still difficult to comprehend 50 million people, more than twice the population of Australia, coming to visit this usually tiny Indian town. But around every corner there's another surprise, and that's what makes the Kumbh Mela so magical.
You wouldn't have people coming and bowing down like that in Australia, though, would you?
No, they think I'm crazy.
They're not right, are they?
Who's to judge? Only God can judge. Maybe I'm crazy, but crazy in love with, the divine spirit and the divine energy.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, you are happy, and there's got to be something said about that.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Liz Hayes. Thanks for watching. To keep up with the latest from 60 Minutes Australia, make sure you subscribe to our channel. You can also download the 9 Now app for full episodes and other exclusive 60 Minutes content.